This is CJ at Minneapolis' IPR, the College of Creative Arts. I'm with my buddy, music and commercial producer Shaun LaBelle. He's catching up with longtime music colleagues Dick Shapto and Walter Chancellor, both of whom are instructors at the Institute of Production and Recording. Shapto and Chancellor were eager to hear LaBelle's new, soon-to-be-released smooth jazz single, Waves. I was anxious to talk about the new single and other interesting memories from Shaun's multi-platinum career. When does your single come out?
It goes to radio May 8th, so obviously it'll be sent out to all the radio stations, and we're hoping for a big one here. So.
Shaun says he's had about 10 big ones. Among them were records for Nikita Germain and Shola Ama, a British pop star whose LaBelle cut sold 3 million records worldwide. LaBelle's new single is called Wave.
You know I love to travel the Caribbean. I love the water, and there's something very soothing and tranquil about the water in the Caribbean for me. So the title of the single is called Wave. As you remember, the last album was Desert Nights because, of course, I live in Palm Springs and I love the desert. So all my projects I kind of like to have like a little bit of a theme, and so Wave seemed like a good title.
Tell me about your Motown experience with Berry Gordy's son.
Well, it was crazy. I mean, it was shortly after I got my first publishing deal with Warner Chappell Music, with Warner Brothers. And my manager at the time was Gary Reed, who had a very close relationship with a guy named Richard Perry. And I started doing some work with Motown.
Is this the Richard Perry who Jane Fonda is connected to?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Of course, I can tell you some of those stories too. But anyway, I got called to do some work for an artist on Motown. Her name was Nikita Germain. And she was sort of the new Whitney Houston that was coming out of Warner Brothers. Phenomenal voice, amazing singer. And so I produced the record. None of the Gordys were ever around for any of the recording because, when you get to production, rarely do they ever come out. They just send you in the studio with the artist and you do your thing. Well, the records turned out great, and the single that I produced, Sweet As It Comes, came out and did tremendously well in the R&B charts. Well, they liked my work. So they called my manager and they said, hey, we need some help as far as Motown, as far as maybe a house producer, because they generally tend to like to have people come in and work with all their acts. So I went down to Motown, and I'm waiting in the lobby to have my meeting with Berry Gordy's son before. And I'm waiting in the lobby, and it's 2 hours now. I'm sitting there. I keep looking over, and I see this guy coming behind the secretary that looks like Berry Gordy. And finally, 2.5 hours later, he comes to the lobby again. He says, "Where the heck is Shaun LaBelle?" And I'm like, "I'm here." Well, he was expecting a black guy. Story of my career.
Yeah, I was hanging out with you at dinner the night that you found out where your middle name came from. You didn't know.
No, I had no idea.
We were at a seafood restaurant.
Right.
With your parents.
That's right. It was really interesting. I just found out at the most awkward time, but it's Harrison. I was named after George Harrison for the Beatles. I had no idea. So it kind of ends up, it makes sense where I ended up after.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a famous ad campaign your dad was behind. What was that?
Boy, several that come to mind right away. Obviously, my father was involved in part of creating the Hamm's Bear for Hamm's Beer. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night when I was a little kid. My father would be drawing a lot of these storyboards by hand. I mean, obviously he did Grainbelt. He worked on Stanley and Albert, the famous campaign. He was part of the creation of that. He was part of the creation of the Mini Gasco Indian. He worked on the early Land O'Lakes commercials.
That's the one, Land O'Lakes. I was
thinking. Sky Blue Waters. I mean, so many ad campaigns and so many jingles that my dad, Betty Crocker, he did Bisquick commercials. But yeah, so many different campaigns. Yeah.
Now we lost your dad. How many years ago?
It was 2010.
2010, and then we just lost your mom.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
It's been kind of a rough few years here.
Yeah, it has been a rough few years, especially as close of a family as we are. Everybody engulfed in the entertainment business, and obviously my father creating commercials. My mom was a jazz singer. So yeah, it's been tough, but I think after you go through it the first time, you learn how to deal with it better the second time. So I think I'm handling it better than I did the first time.
Wow.
I'm able to persevere.
And she was kind of ready to be with your dad too.
She really was. In fact, the last week, that was kind of where she was coming from. She didn't want to suffer anymore, and she had my father's picture right there. So, I think she's in a better place. Although it makes me think of the Joan Rivers joke. I don't know if you might remember this joke. Joan Rivers said to somebody said to Joan Rivers, "Oh, she died and she's in a better place." And Joan Rivers said, "Did you ever see her house in Beverly Hills?" I don't know, better place.